damage reduction and energy control, or maybe Samurot's actually pretty good. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch and today we're going to be taking a look at Samurott, a really cool Pokemon which can reduce damage and control your opponent's energy. It's a stage 2 with a lot of potential. So we're going to take a look at it. I haven't had a huge amount of time today to record a video, so it's old school. So that's right, we are back to an old school style deck profile. Unfortunately, haven't had enough time to do the one that I've been trying to do, but that's okay. We're gonna talk through Samurott today regardless. Samurott is a really cool Pokemon. Shell Armor, a very powerful ability to reduce the amount of damage that this Pokemon takes by 30. And then Aqua Wash, also a very strong attack. For 1 water and 2 colorless, we deal 120, which is acceptable. But most importantly, we remove 2 energy from our opponent's active Pokemon and put them back in their hand. That means that Pokemon like Eternatus or Rapid Strike Urshifu that rely on having multiple energy attachments to get off their big attacks can sometimes struggle when playing against this Samurott. We're going to try and accelerate energy to that Samurott by using Frostmoth. Ice Dance is a very strong ability which allows us to attach as many water energy as we like from our hand to our benched water Pokemon. And as a backup attacker, we also have Keldeo GX. The Sonic Edge attack is pretty solid to get through some frustrating Pokemon like Altaria. And we also have Resolute Blade, which can potentially deal a lot of damage. So a very cool deck list. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I've rushed through this one. I feel uncomfortable in the corner of the screen. I'm going to move to the other side and we're going to play some Pokemon cards. Alrighty, we've got ourselves a pretty good start. We've got a Snorlax in the active, and frankly, that's all we can really ask for. On the plus side as well, our opponent is playing a Fire-type deck, so if we can't manage this one, then what can we do? We're going to calm away the Keldeo. We're going to grab ourselves a... we can grab an Oshawott or a Snom here. We've got a Quick Ball as well. I don't know, what do we grab? Maybe we just grab an Oshawott here. The rare candy in my hand is quite frustrating. I would like, if I could, to keep that. I'm going to get rid of the Switch, which is a gamble, really, but I'm assuming that my opponent will knock the Snorlax out. I'm also going to Marnie. Marnie and Snorlax both combine quite well with each other. We can draw some extra cards, which would be fantastic. We've got an Air Balloon and an Energy. We'll attach to the Oshawott. We will play the Air Balloon down, and then I'll Gomendize, and we'll draw 4 more cards and try and get ourselves a Samurott next turn. It's not happened just yet. I always forget to move my microphone close to me. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why that is. I don't know why I constantly forget to do that, but that's okay. Our opponent has Tool Scrapper, which is a little bit frustrating, but they also have the VMAX, so they will be dealing 100 damage, or they'll be knocking out one of my Pokemon, which I'm not a fan of. Snom getting knocked out is quite painful. But you know what? It's fine. We'll just promote the Snorlax again, and we'll just lay out all of our Oshawotts here. I think our entire plan is going to be to just attach energy and then Dedenne. Hopefully we can get something interesting off of these cards, but alas, 'twas not to be. I think actually, let's just Quick Ball. I'll get rid of the Marnie. I can grab like a Snorlax, and then I can potentially Quick Ball that Snorlax away. We only have one Snom, so we can't get a backup, but that's fine. We're gonna see what we get off Gomendize, and nothing. Fabulous. The issue of Stage 2 Pokemon is what we are currently facing. Look at that. Look at that hand. We've got an attacker, we've got the energy, we just need a rare candy, but we don't have it yet. If we do find the rare candy, we will be able to deal a pretty solid chunk of damage to this Victini, but ironically enough, we won't even be knocking it out. Can you imagine attacking for 3 energy with a water Pokemon, 4 weakness, and still not taking a knockout? But hey, it's okay. It is what it is. These Victini decks are very, very powerful. At least we've got ourselves a Marnie and a Boss and all those kinds of things, so we should be okay. Our opponent has a Talonflame V, so not the Rapidash version of this deck, but yeah, we're all right. We could top deck a rare candy. I've top decked well before. Even top decking like a Frostmoth would be good. The ability to attach some of these energies would be fantastic. Frankly, if anything, just anything could happen, that would be great. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I don't like it. I'm looking at it. I don't like it. It's a little bit frustrating, but that's okay. Our opponent has a welder they're going to attach to their Talonflame. Perhaps they will elect to knock out the Snorlax this turn. And that's an interesting choice, because if they do that, then we can put ourselves into a pretty decent position. We could potentially get an attack off if all things go well. They are going to retreat. Okay, so they're going into the Talonflame. Now, Talonflame only has 190 HP, but unfortunately, it is weak to lightning rather than water. So hopefully we can just get a rare candy here. That's not a rare candy. But we can get the Frostmoth, though. That's good. We could choose to do that. Let's go across. We'll grab the Frostmoth. This means we can at least get some of these energies down, and I don't feel so bad about playing Professor's Research. If I do this, let's attach to the active, because we're going to draw into the Samurott and the rare candy. I know that's what's going to happen. I feel it in my bones. Research, please give us what we need. Rare candy? Great ball. Oh my goodness. Okay. Do I quick ball to thin out a basic? I think so. Let's get rid of a... Oh boy, a water energy I think is the least useful. I'm going to grab the Keldeo here. There are 3 Samurotts in the deck, so we could potentially find one on the Great Ball, please. Yes, okay, we've got one. We've got the Samurott, so we can Aqua Wash this turn, which is fantastic. So we'll throw down that Samurott. We will bench the Keldeo, maybe? I will attach the Air Balloon. I think we just Aqua Wash here. Now, this doesn't take the knockout, because like I said, we do have the Talonflame weak to lightning, but we can return the energies to our opponent's hand and force them to use Welder this turn, which is very important. If they do have to use Welder, then we can still win. They can't knock us out with this Talonflame, because Bright Wing deals 160 damage. 160 damage will be affected by Shell Armor, so even if they do manage to get all the things that they need to attack with Bright Wing, they will not be able to get a knockout, which I'm a big fan of. So this is all looking good. They're going to boss. That's quite frustrating. Maybe should have held the Air Balloon, but that's okay. We have Nessa, and I think there's water energy in the discard pile already, plus another Samurott, so we could potentially get another Samurott into play this turn if we want. Plus, we can attach a water energy to the Oshawott in the active and retreat that. So I'm feeling pretty good. They're going to use Spreading Flames to accelerate some energy out of the discard pile. And that's good news for us, I think. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Now, let's just double check. We've got a Samurott, we've got 2 water energy. Let's use Nessa. A really cool supporter that I like in these type of decks. We'll grab another Snom just in case. We've got the rare candy which we can use. Let's use it on the benched Oshawott with 2 energy on it already. We will need to attach to the active to get that one out of the active. And then we can either hold the Keldeo, we could bench it. I think benching it's fine. We could potentially even Ice Dance an energy onto that Keldeo to get it ready. And then we'll retreat into our Samurott, and we'll use Aqua Wash for 240. And we'll return that fire energy to our opponent. Actually, no, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. We can leave it. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. Because now, they can't just switch and attach. So that's good. I mean, they can attach and switch. But they'll need to find a welder. Smart thinking. They're going to use Boss. Boss is going to grab the Frostmoth. But you know what? At this point, doesn't really matter. We can just send the Samurott back out. We've got the Snom, so we can play that down. We've got a Research, so we can just play the Research. To be honest, I don't know if we really need... I mean, there's a Frostmoth in there. There's only 2 energies left, though, so I don't think we need the Snom. I think we can just go for the Research, and this should be fine. We've got another rare candy, which is fantastic. I'm going to attach to the Keldeo, and then... We might not go into the Samurott, to be honest. We might. I don't think we need to. I think we can just Aqua Wash here. Again, we'll elect not to return those energies because we want them to go into the discard pile. Thank you very much. We'll take 3 prizes, and we are 1 knockout away from winning this game. We can potentially get that knockout using Keldeo GX if we can knock out the Reshizard, then we can win the game that way. But we'll have to wait and see. They'll need a Welder and a Reshizard to knock out the Samurott, so they'll only be able to take one prize. They're promoting the Talonflame. It has free retreat. Fair enough. So yeah, I'm thinking that we're in a pretty good spot. They'll need to attach and Welder to the Reshizard, or they'll need to use their GX attack. They could also use the GX attack from the Heatran, but they cannot knock me out using the Talonflame, which is very good, frankly. So they've got a guaranteed knockout if they can find one energy, because they can just use Heatran, but we can then knock Heatran out with our own Samurott, which is fantastic. One of the problems, though, we are going to have is that we are struggling for energy just a little bit. We are struggling for energy just a smidge, just a tiny bit, and we've only got 6 cards left in the deck, which is not ideal. I mean, it'll be fine. That beep's gonna go away eventually, I swear. It's been a week of the most... every 25 minutes it just goes off, and it's just very annoying. Eventually, though. Eventually it will go away, which I'm looking forward to. Our opponent is struggling here. Struggling to make a decision. They're going to attach to the Talonflame. So you'd have to think that it's going to be the Heatran to GX. Either that, or they've not got the maths right. The Shell Armor comes into play, and they don't get the knockout. And we top deck an energy, so I'm going to put that onto the Keldeo. Let's Great Ball as well. Just a thin. We've got one boss in the deck. So, theoretically, we can win the game. Let's just double check. There's 4 cards there. There's a boss. If we Ordinary Rod, could we? Is it worth doing that? I mean, we can Rare Candy into another Samurott, I suppose. I don't know if we're in too much of a rush. Let's play down the Oshawott. We can Ordinary Rod. If we do the energy, and just the energy, we just leave that in there, and then we Aqua Wash and take the knockout, we should, theoretically, be able to do pretty much anything that we want next turn. We got a Water Energy off of the prizes, and we got a Pokemon Communication as well. I could have done a fancy play there if I had an extra energy in the discard pile, where maybe I researched to guarantee the boss for the game next turn, but I think they have to attack with a Fire-type Pokemon this turn regardless. Now, if they Outrage here, this is going to be very sad. Oh, very sad. And then we can retreat into Resolute Blade and knock out from there. Well, we got away with that one, I think. Now, I forgot to mention, if you do like the video and you want to see more, then leave a like. That would be fantastic. And if you want to play the deck list, it is down in the description if you didn't want to just take a screenshot of it as it was on the screen before. Do you prefer the deck profile section like that? I don't know. I don't really like it. I think that the other way is slightly more interesting, but hey, that's just me. We are looking at a Turbo Zacian deck here, which is interesting. I've not seen one of these for a while, but obviously it will be very strong. Zacian V-Union coming out. Now I can say, since I've said V-Union, I can type that into the thumbnail and stuff, which is very exciting. I probably won't. Let's get rid of the boss. We'll grab ourselves Oshawott. Then we're either going to Marnie on Research. I feel like Marnie is probably a stronger play, especially since our opponent is likely going to knock out the Zacian, knock out the Snorlax, sorry, next turn. This is fantastic because we've got a Snom and an Oshawott. We can play both of these down, as well as one energy. We'll attach that to the Oshawott, and then we can Gormandai to 5, which is very, very good. Hopefully, we can find a rare candy. We don't. We've got the Pokemon, though. We've got the Pokemon. So we could potentially get a Samurott into play next turn. But the problem is going to be that we do need that rare candy. It's critically important. But on the plus side, our opponent's going to be using a Zacian here. Now, interesting thing about Zacian is that it requires 3 energy to attack. And I don't know if you've noticed, but Samurott's its attack is very good for removing energy. Now, obviously, if our opponent can accelerate a lot of energies using cards like Turbo Patch and also the Metal Saucer, then they're not necessarily going to be in that big of it's not going to be that big of an issue, but we can still deal with them, which is very good. If we can get rid of a couple of energy, then I'll be feeling very, very happy, which I'm always happy to do. I'm happy to feel happy, and as you should, frankly. Here comes Steely Spirit Berserker, the shiny version rather than the gold version. I can respect that choice. Personally, not a choice that I would make. I play the gold ones myself, but that's just me. Also, very excited for Chilling Reign coming out in less than 4 days. Very exciting. There's a knockout. So, we require a lot of things. A lot of things. Let's put the Oshawott into the active. There's an energy. We can play down the Frostmoth. We can quick ball away a research and grab ourselves an Oshawott. Actually, Oricorio looks even better. Maybe we can get ourselves a rare candy. That would be swell. Dance of Tribute, rare candy, maybe. Nope. Ice Dance, we're going to use that. We're going to get a couple of energies onto our Oshawott on the bench. I feel like we're going to need to use Professor's Research here, which is less than desirable, but at least it's going to draw us some cards. Rare candy and our attacker. Nope, okay. Disappointing, to say the very least. This is, it's a bit grim here. We can attach the air balloon. We can switch into the Oricorio. Let's use Ice Dance a couple of times. We'll get the Oshawotts ready and raring to go. I can potentially play down the Keldeo if I want, but to be honest, I just wanted a Dene. What about these 6 cards? Maybe now we can get ourselves a rare candy and a Samurott, and we can. Perfectly done. Perfectly done. Cannot complain. Let's play down the Oshawott. We'll use the Great Ball. We'll find nothing, because of course we will. And then we can retreat into Samurott and use Aqua Wash. Alright, now these are going to go back into our opponent's hands. We've half hit the Zacian. We are feeling pretty good. I mean, they've already used 2 of their energy acceleration cards, possibly 3. I like it, to be honest. I like it quite a lot. Are they going to money? Give us some more cards? I'm always happy to see that. That is good news for us. Hopefully we can find another rare candy, maybe another Samurott, maybe even just a Duot to evolve our Oshawotts. Nessa's good. Rare candy is good. Nessa can find us a Samurott. Another Tails on Turbo Patch. Another Tails on Turbo Patch. Oh my word. And an Intrepid Sword. Alrighty. Well, we are... There's another rare candy. We are looking pretty good. I'm going to wait to use Nessa, considering all of the things that I've considered, and we're going to Aqua Wash. We'll take the knockout on the Zacian, and we will not return the energy to the hand. We'll just give ourselves 2 prizes, and they're both water energies. So now, if our opponent does knock out the Samurott, then we've got double rare candy, we've got Nessa, there's already a rare candy in the discard pile. Not a rare candy, a Samurott in the discard pile, so we can get another one back, which would be fantastic. But my gut feeling tells me that they are not likely to be attacking this turn, and even if they are, they're not likely to be taking a knockout, because they're most likely to attack with that Zamazenta on the bench, which it looks like we are gearing up towards seeing an attack with 3 energy on that Zamazenta, an air balloon on the active. They're going to retreat and attack for 130, I believe, which is not going to be enough, especially since Shell Armor's going to reduce that by an extra 30. So only 100 damage, but you know what, that's fine. They're going to throw down a Rusted Shield, so now we are going to be 3-shotting this Zamazenta instead of 2-shotting it, which is a bit disappointing. And now they're accelerating some more energy, which is also it's a bit frightening, frankly, but that's okay. They hit into us for 120. Oh, because I've got the Berserker. I was about to say, why is that? But it's because of the Berserker. I've got a Pokemon Communication here, so let's shuffle a Oshawott back into the deck. I'm going to grab Duot. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm going to do that. We're going to evolve our Oshawott into a Duot. We're going to attach some water energies to an Oshawott on the bench. And this means we can save a rare candy down the line. I'm also going to Aqua Wash. We're going to return 2 metal energies, sorry, to my opponent's hand. And we're well on our way. They're not likely to be able to attack. They're going to probably need to pass, which is good news for us. Means we can just attack into this Zamazenta again, and hopefully find a way to win the game from there. But yeah, Nessa and Rare Candy in our hand, we've pretty much got everything that we need. And you can see the strength of this card. Now, obviously, it's not super consistent, and we'll get to the grade at the end of the video, but it is definitely a good, fun deck. And I can see why Pokemon and Ellis decided to show this one off on the first trainer guide, or whatever it was, program that they... What do they call it? trainer tutorial? Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Samurot's really cool. There's the victory. Our opponent goes, yeah, no, not going to be able to do it. And yeah, we get the win. That's very nice. So we managed to get a couple of wins with Samurott, but is it any good? Well, frankly, not really. Playability-wise, this is a D tier card. A stage 2 that 3 hits VMAXs? Probably not that great, but it's interesting. And that's the most important thing. Consistency-wise, I'm giving it a C. It's not inconsistent, but it is a stage 2 deck, so it's not like you're going to be sitting there and everything is going to be working perfectly every time. Value-wise, super cheap. You're going to be able to get these really, really easily. Probably, it's not like A-tier value because you're not going to be able to improve this to get an A-tier deck, but you can still get quite a lot of good times out of it. Fun-wise, giving it a C. Those games where you do stumble a little bit and miss those stage 2s are frustrating, but when it works, it can be enjoyable. Overall, a C- deck. Not something that I would recommend if you're looking for competitive play, but definitely a bit of fun and certainly a challenge. So that is the end. Once again, thank you very much everyone for coming past. If you haven't already, like the video. Make sure you do that as well. If you're watching at this point and you haven't liked the video, then I don't know, what are you doing here? What are you watching to the very end for and not leaving a like? Doesn't make any sense. Thank you very much, by the way, to all of my channel members. If you'd like to become one, there's a join button down below that you can click. It's less than $3 Australian a month. That's nothing. It's like a grain of sand to an American person. Thank you very much, in particular to Dadbot and Azazel for their very generous support. Fernando, Yolo, Stephen, Ty, Agent Abel, Austin, Josiah, Leaf Devour, Robsy, Brad, Chinks, Brad, Justin, and Croc, Otaku Gaming. All of you, thank you very much for your royal Sableye-age, I guess, as well as all of the people in white who are Mega Sableyes. They're over here doing all these amazing things. Thank you very much for coming along, and I'll see you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye. That was weird.